What's up, everyone? This is FP Sticks. Today I'm going to be bringing you my weighted Sorcerous Cup tournament. It was a 7-round tournament that I actually ended up sweeping 7-0. And upon completing this tournament, it put me at 31st in the world on Sylph, which was really exciting. The Sorcerous Cup has been really good to me so far, and so I kind of want to break down some of my battles in this tournament, all of my battles actually, and my thought process for what was taking place within this tournament. This was the Ali Lucky Go Stadium tournament that was actually live streamed on Twitch, which was super fun. And then they interviewed me afterwards, which that was pretty fun as well. But we had almost 100 participants in this tournament and a lot of really talented battlers. So it was really fun. The team that I was rolling with is Bronzong, Munchlax, Skuntank, Azumarill, Frostlass, and Medicham. And what you're going to notice in these battles is I really only bring in 4 out of these 6 Pokemon, just based on my opponent's team comp. I bring in Bronzong, Skuntank, Azumarill, and Frostlass. Those are kind of the main 4 that you're going to see me using here. So let's kind of go through these battles and see some of the plays that I made. I felt like I was really playing at the top of my game and made very few mistakes, but there are some pretty obvious mistakes I make here. So Charmers are kind of a problem, especially since I did not bring a hard wall to Charmers in this line of 3. I did not bring in Bronzong. By the way, my first round opponent is Ko is a Beast there, 757. So you saw me throw the Avalanche, and then I swapped into my Skuntank, and then he switches his own Skuntank to Mirror. You will notice that my Skuntank is running Sludge Bomb instead of Flamethrower. Yes, this means I lose the Mirror, but if I have an energy advantage, I'm still looking fine. What Sludge Bomb allows me to do is have a more consistent Azumarill matchup. I really want things on my team that can hard check Azumarill, and since I'm not running Tentacruel or Venusaur or anything like that, Skuntank with Sludge Bomb definitely helped me out a lot in this tournament. So I let my Skuntank go down. Yes, I've lost switch advantage, but what I have found in this cup is that energy management is really the key to success here. And Frostlass can do so much work if you get an energy advantage and save the shields. So I switched into my own Azu to Mirror here. I was able to get that Shadow Ball off, which is really great. And the moveset I am running on my Azumarill is Play Rough and Hydro Pump. They tried to sack swap their Wigglytuff there, but I was able to get another bubble's worth of energy. Just going to straight throw the Play Rough here, and this is going to be a solid first round win here. Normally when my opponent has a Charmer, I tend to like to run Bronzong in the back just in case they try to just charm through the opening matchup. I have a hard wall to a Charmer in the back, but in this first game that did not take place. And this Azumarill mirror match is just going to continue to play out. It takes a while for sure. So they are running Hypno. I'm assuming it's a Thunder Punch Shadow Ball Hypno, which can beat my Bronzong if the Shadow Ball connects. So I do need to be aware of that. But man, these Azumarill matchups take so long. Okay, now I'm going to go Skuntank, Azumarill, and Bronzong because I noticed he likes bringing in the Wigglytuff. So I need a harder check to that. We're in a Skuntank mirror match. And again, I'm not running Flamethrower, but I don't think I've seen him reveal his second move yet, and I don't think I've revealed my second move on my Skuntank either. One thing that's very important to note, if you have Pokemon with a slightly different moveset than what is recommended, try to not reveal that move unless you absolutely have to, like if it's going to be a game-breaking win. I'm assuming he's running the same moveset as me, Crunch and Sludge Bomb, because I have not seen a Flamethrower come through. So I'm going to let this go through. It's another Crunch. This is a rank 1 Skuntank. It looks like he got in an extra Poison Jab there, and so I lose the opening. I lose the opening matchup there. I'm going to bring out a Azumarill, and I am just hoping that this is a Crunch. It is a Crunch. Thank goodness I did not shield it up. I'm able to get a jump start on energy advantage. Out comes the Wigglytuff, but this is exactly why I kept Bronzong in my line. And looking at his team, if Skuntank is off the picture, if Skuntank is out of the picture, then Bronzong is going to have a favorable matchup against pretty much anything that's in the back. Azumarill, that's totally fine. In the 2-shield scenario, Bronzong cleanly wins this. And this matchup is bait dependent for Azumarill, whereas Bronzong can just go straight Confusion and Psyshock the whole way. So I will shield this up. He's running Ice Beam Play Rough, which means Bronzong is actually kind of a wall to Azumarill. If you recognize that your opponent's Azumarill does not have Hydro Pump, that really is going to give your Bronzong more free reign. So again, I don't need to shield this because he revealed his second move. I'm going to bring out my own Azu to get a jump start on energy again. I am up a shield. Things are looking great. I will shield this up. And then I'm going to go straight for the Play Rough. I can't overfarm in this matchup because each charm damage that I take is going to worsen the matchup for the back. So this is probably going to be a Play Rough. It is. I barely survived, which is not ideal because I'm not going to be able to get that other Play Rough. But this is exactly why I banked the Psyshock. So barely not be enough, and then one Confusion, I'm able to take it out. Good second game there. Looks like I'm going Bronzong, Skuntank, and Frostlass in this third game. Bronzong into Azumarill in the 2 shield, we win this. So I'm going to play this out a little bit, and since, again, they're running Ice Beam Play Rough, this is totally favorable for me. Totally favorable for me, so no matter what charge move comes through, I'm not shielding it, and I'm banking a lot of extra energy in case they try to swap in a Skuntank or something. I want to have almost enough energy for a Bulldoze to threaten that, if that is going to be the case. The fact that I got a shield there in that opening matchup, I'm going to switch my Skuntank in here to catch an Ice Beam. That's totally fine. Out comes the Noctowl. So they ran Noctowl in this third match, and I ran Bronzong and Frostlass. 2 very solid checks to Noctowl, so I'm comfortable letting my Skuntank go here. Totally fine by me. I have a shield advantage. Oh, I have a Azumarill in the back, not Frostlass yet. Gonna bring out Bronzong again. They could go for the Nightshade here, but it's only a Sky Attack, and it's not enough to KO me, so I'm just continuing to farm down here. And I'm able to farm it all the way down before it gets to another move. And I'm going to be able to throw another Psyshock on this Azumarill. Things are looking really great. Down goes Azumarill. And it is a Skuntank in the back, but check this out. I have 2 shields. And so Skuntank down a shield can't even beat Azumarill. He successfully baits me with Crunch, which is great. But double Play Rough is the answer here. Because plus the bubble damage, it'll be enough. And actually, I think I'd just go all the way for the Hydro Pump, maybe. I don't even play it safe. I'm just going for the nuke. Yes, I'm going to be able to get to it. And so I'm going to be able to take the first round with a solid 3-0. Good games. Ko is a beast. Going into round 2. All right, round 2, my opponent is DAQui26. I think that's how you say their name. And let's see what team I roll with. Okay, we're finishing this matchup here. Down goes Skuntank. Good games. Awesome. Okay, round 2. They are rocking Hypno, Glalie, Toxicroak, Skuntank, Azumarill, and Noctowl. So Glalie is kind of like Frostlass, has a similar moveset, but you're running Ice Shard as a fast move, and you don't have Ghost subtyping, so the Shadow Ball really doesn't hit that hard. But it looks like in this first round, I'm going to go with the Skuntank lead, Azu as the safe swap, and then a Bronzong in the back. The reason I'm structuring it like this is because if he leads Toxicroak, that's really the only matchup that my Skuntank needs to avoid, so I need 2 things in the back that'll keep that in check. Let's see how this works out. Game 1. Okay, Skuntank mirror match. So because I have Azumarill and Bronzong in the back, I have to play this out. I have to get rid of this Skuntank because my back line is going to have problems against it. They're just going for a crunch, which is interesting. It always makes me wonder whether or not my opponent is running Flamethrower or Sludge Bomb as the second move. I just like to go straight crunch in this matchup. All right, all right. Let's see if they're going to Flamethrower me here. Ah, they just revealed both moves. They revealed Crunch and Sludge Bomb. So I switch into my Bronzong to try to get a jump start on energy. But they switch in their Hypno. Now this is not really good for me. I do get a shield there, which is nice. But Hypno is going to be a decent response to my Bronzong and my Azumarill. I shield up the Thunder Punch bait, which really sucks. Doesn't put me in a great position, but you can see how much more damage my Confusion is doing to the enemy Hypno versus mine. I do commit my second shield there to shield up the Shadow Ball, which is good for me. The Confusion damage is double resisted on Bronzong. And out comes their own Azumarill. I'm going to stay in here and chip it away as much as I can with Confusion and Psyshock. They still have their Skuntank, which is pretty low. I'm going to switch in my own Azu now. You can see in these Sorcerous battles, there's so many fast swaps that happen because there's not really like solid hard counters. There's a lot of neutral matchups, so energy advantage is really key here. I was late to this swap, so I am down in energy significantly, but I'm going to be able to land this play rough. I get the last shield. And then I'm going to be able to get off this play rough before the opposing Azumarill is able to get it off, which is really good. Down goes the Azumarill. Hypno is very low. I'm going to bubble it all the way down. Skuntank is also pretty low. And I'm going to bubble that down as well. Good game. Second game I'm going, looks like Frostlass, Skuntank, and Azu. Frostlass lead. I catch a Toxicroak really good for me. My Skuntank needs to avoid this. I'm expecting a switch out. They're staying in here, which is pretty interesting. I can tank. Okay, I'm going to shield up a Mud Bomb. I want to keep my Frostlass healthy. There's the swap. I'm going to store all that energy I have on Frostlass, which is just a ridiculous amount, and switch in my own Skunk onto this Azu. I'm actually going to shield up the Hydro Pump here because I want to make sure I can consistently get some damage on this Azumarill. And Frostlass is going to win all of my CMP ties, so I don't need to worry about that. Out comes the Toxicroak again. This is not super great. I'm going straight for the Sludge Bomb here, which is barely not going to be enough to KO this Toxicroak. I'm going to try to Poison Jab it down. Toxicroak is going to throw right here, and he leaves minimal energy for me to farm, which is a really nice play on his part. What is in the back, though? They still have two shields, and it's a Skuntank in the back. This, I don't think I win this game. Right? Because they're rocking Sludge Bomb. I don't think there's any way that I win this game. There's no way. Wait. I have all this energy stored up on Frostlass. I'm throwing the Avalanche. This is going to burn the last shield. And I have so much stored energy, I'm able to get to another Avalanche. The Toxicroak is so low that I can farm it down. Oh my gosh. Frostlass with all that stored energy just totally regained shield advantage, and I'm able to take out the Toxicroak. Good game there. Going with Frostlass, Azu, and Bronzong, it looks like. So hopefully through this you can see the power of Frostlass. So Frostlass gets to the Avalanche 1 Powder Snow before the Skuntank gets to his Crunch. He made a really nice swap into Glalie right here. So Avalanche is resisted. Unfortunate. I'm going to farm up some energy before getting out of here. It actually looks like I'm going to try to click the Avalanche again. I knew this was just an Avalanche, so I let it go through. Now I'm going to throw my own Avalanche because I saw how much damage it did. Now I'm going to bring out my Azumarill to farm this down. A non-stab Shadow Ball is going to hit for hardly any damage, and they weren't even able to get off a move. I know that Skuntank is going to be coming back out. I know a Sludge Bomb is going to be hitting me pretty soon here. But I have baited out the Skuntank, so my Bronzong gets to avoid it. And again, looking at their team, the only other thing Bronzong needs to look out for is Hypno. And honestly, it's not that bad of a matchup. If Skuntank is out of the way, this is totally fine. And we know Glalie is out of the way. So just throwing the play roughs here. We're even in shields. I'm going to shield this up and farm down. Actually, I'm going to bring in my Bronzong to get a jump start on energy. It is the Hypno in the back. Okay, we still have a decently healthy Azumarill. I'm going straight for the Bulldoze here to get some chip damage. It lands, which is really good. I know Shadow Ball is going to be coming through. I don't think it one-shots me. It's non-stab. Yep, doesn't one-shot me. The Confusions are double resisted. I'm able to get off this last second Psyshock. I could have even gotten to a Bulldoze. I really should have went for it. But I get a shield there anyways, which is good for me. They're going to farm me down. Not super great. My Frostlass is out of energy, so I bring it in here as a sacrifice to just get them to dump energy, which works. They go for the Thunder Punch. Out comes my Azumarill, and I'm not in Thunder Punch range. Should be able to take this. I don't think they're going to be able to double Thunder Punch, and the Bubbles take it out. They actually tried to swap in their Skun Tank to catch it, and I'm able to take that game right there. Very good games to my opponent. And let's see what I'm rocking for the third game here. Man, I edited these really close together. Okay, round 3 is up against Kirito91, rocking Wigglytuff, Skun Tank, Azumarill, Bronzong, Alolan Muck, and Noctowl. So, double Dark Poison users. This kind of leads me to believe the Skun Tank is most likely rocking Sludge Bomb to be a really hard answer to Azumarill. And Alolan Muck. Again, looking at his team, like, Skun Tank just has so many favorable matchups. But since there is a Charmer, I am going to keep Bronzong in the back as my little safe caboose. Alright, they bring in Noctowl. I have 2 solid responses to this, Frostlass and Bronzong. I'm expecting a switch out. There it is. Out comes Alolan Muck. I'm going to stay in here and get some avalanche damage off. Alolan Muck has a good matchup against my Bronzong and my Frostlass, so I do swap out my Frostlass, and now I'm able to get my Skunk switch locked against the Alolan Muck, which is great. I'm going to fully commit to this farm down, because this should just be a Dark Pulse. It's not going to take me out. I'm going to farm it down. I'm going to have loaded energy, and I'm going to have minimal health for my opponent to farm, which is really good for me. Out comes Wigglytuff, and I'm an idiot, and I click on the crunch, but by some miracle, I still get a shield. Thank goodness. I still have not revealed that I have Sludge Bomb. This is why I brought in Bronzong. So this is already a good game right here. I'm actually bringing Frostlass to burn their last shield, and then Bronzong is just going to sweep. Bronzong with 2 shields is going to take out Wigglytuff and Noctowl just fine. So I'm going to fully Confusion this thing down. I will shield this up, even though both of Wigglytuff's moves are resisted. It's still going to hurt. And you can see the charm damage is still actually chunking away. But I'm just going to leave this matchup with like 100 energy. Out comes Noctowl. I'm going to dump 2 Psyshocks on it. I still have a shield. Looking very good here. Noctowl's very bulky. But Nightshade is such a crappy move. Nightshade would like barely not KO me from that range, which is pretty crazy. I no-shield this. Oh my gosh. That's a bold no-shield. But I figured it'd be a Sky Attack. So second game, it looks like I'm going Skun Tank, Azu, and Bronzong. No Frostlass this time. Because I saw that they liked their Alolan Muck a lot, and so it was kind of a liability to have Bronzong and Frostlass in the same line. So Skun Tank lead, very good for me. He got in an extra Snarl there, which is not great. And again, since I'm not running Flamethrower, this isn't as positive of a match, but I can go straight Crunch here and kind of just feel out how things go, as long as my opponent doesn't get any extra Snarls in, which does sometimes happen. So I go straight Crunch. I'm not able to take it out, but then I bring out my Azumarill to farm. They rocked double Dark Poisons in this line, which is not good at all. I'm going to go for the Play Rough bait here. If their Skun Tank is rocking Sludge Wave, I'm in a little bit of trouble here. But let's see what they want to do. They've farmed up so much energy. I'm going to shield this up. It's a Crunch. So are they trying to... This has got to be another Crunch. I was assuming it is another Crunch. So they're definitely rocking Crunch Flamethrower, which means this matchup is actually not that bad for Azumarill. I'm going to go straight Hydro Pump here. It takes out the Skun Tank. I've regained switch advantage. Good for me. I'm going to bring out my own Bronzong. I'm in kind of a tricky spot here. This Bronzong has an energy advantage. The Alolan Muck, we need to remember, is low in health, so I'm expecting a sack swap here pretty soon. There it is. I'm able to Confusion it down. They just gave me extra energy. Gonna land this Bulldoze. It gets shielded, which is unfortunate, but it's so risky to bait because Psyshock is double resisted here. This is going to be another Bulldoze. I'm barely going to survive. My Swish Clock is not up. I need to get to this Bulldoze. I don't know why I'm over farming. I need to just go straight for it. Not enough to KO it, but then I'm able to Confusion it down. Good game. Next game looks like I'm going Skun Tank, Frostlass, and Bronzong. Wigglytuff lead. Okay. This is fine for Skun Tank. If my opponent wants to shield and charm their way through this, they will win this matchup, but this is why I have Bronzong in the back to absorb all that extra energy that they might farm up. There's a shield. Fine by me. Now, all this energy that they farmed is going to completely go to waste on this Bronzong. So they have to give up switch advantage. And I don't switch in my Frostlass here. Who knows why? Because I didn't want my Frostlass to be at an energy disadvantage. I call their bluff there, and then I switch to my Frostlass. I'm still at an energy disadvantage, but I'm at a shield advantage. All I need to do is land a Shadow Ball on this, and I'm totally fine. The confusion damage hurts so bad, and the 2-shield Bronzong actually beats Frostlass just because of that raw confusion damage. They shielded up. Unfortunate for me. I will shield this up because I know I'm going to be able to get to the Shadow Ball. Really nice combo play on their part. Really nice combo play. They didn't allow me to farm. I bring out my own Bronzong. It's not looking great for me. I'm able to farm down the Wigglytuff. They still have their Bronzong. There it is. This Bulldoze is probably barely enough to KO. No, not even close. Okay, yep, I remember this. And then I'm like, okay, I can just farm this down. And it didn't work out. They got to a Bulldoze, so I lost that game. But I still won the round. Good games. Round 4 is up against Lions Den 716. They are rocking Munchlax, Bronzong, Azumarill, Frostlass, Noctowl, and Alolan Muk. So no Skuntank and no really hard answer to Azumarill. So guess what? I'm bringing in Azumarill, Skuntank, Azumarill, and Bronzong, it looks like, for this first game. Let's see how it goes. Alright, Skuntank into Muk. Again, since I have Azumarill and Bronzong in the back, I need to play out this matchup. Even if I lose, it doesn't really matter. Because looking at their team... Honestly, looking at their team, Alolan Muk is their only Azumarill, like, somewhat hard Azumarill check. You could argue that Noctowl is an Azumarill counter, but it doesn't really beat it super consistently. And Bronzong and the 2-shield can beat Azu, but... if I leave this with like a shield advantage, it's great. But honestly, I just need to get this Alolan Muk out of here. So I lose that matchup. Fine by me. I'm going to bring out Azumarill to get a jump start on energy. They're probably going to mirror with their... Okay, they are going to bring out their Noctowl. I have Bronzong in the back. So I store up a lot of energy, and now they're going to dump energy into my Bronzong. This is probably a Nightshade. It is, but look how... it's just not very impressive damage for how much energy that costs. They are staying in here, which makes me curious about what they have in the back, because this is not a good matchup for Noctowl. So maybe they have their own Azumarill in the back. It is their own Azumarill, but I'm going to be able to get a Psyshock. Going to be able to get some HP advantage here, and I get a shield off the Psyshock. A double shielded Azumarill with stored energy. Nothing is going to stop this, especially since the Alolan Muk is off the table. So you can see how this is going to play out, but this is pretty much good games here. Hopefully you guys can see just how powerful Azumarill is in this Sorcerous Cup. You either need to run Azumarill or you need to have hard walls to it. Because soft counters are just not always going to do the trick here unless you stock up your line of 3 with multiple soft checks. That's again why I like Sludge Bomb on Skuntank. They bring out their Noctowl here, but I'm just going to fully farm it down, and this is fine for me. That's why I like Sludge Bomb on Skuntank. And Alolan Muk doesn't really have consistent wins against Azumarill, especially in the 1-shield. If Azumarill baits, I'm pretty sure they win that matchup. But I'm going to be able to hit this play rough and take the first game in this set. Good game. All right. Frostlass, Skuntank, Azu. Here we go. Frostlass leads are pretty fun. Even if I see Alolan Muk, which I don't, Noctowl in the lead is really good for me. But even if I see Alolan Muk, that's still playable. There's Alolan Muk. I have an energy advantage. We CMP tie to all of our charge moves, and Frostlass is going to win the CMP. The only difference is that I'm able to make a really nice sacrificial swap here to catch this Dark Pulse, which is great. The only difference is one Dark Pulse pretty much would one-shot Frostlass, whereas an Avalanche doesn't one-shot Alolan Muk. So here I'm going to commit no shields, fully farm it down. Again, leaving minimal health for my opponent to farm me down. I'm anticipating the Noctowl to come back out. It is, and I have just enough energy where I think I can get to 2 crunches here. There's the first one. Barely able to get to the second one. Really good for me. Looks like they even make a switch into Azumarill there. And so for some reason I switch into my Frostlass here. Interesting play, but I'm up 2 shields. They don't even shield the Shadow Ball, so at this point, I'm just going to go straight Avalanche. I'm going to start putting on some shield pressure. Frostlass easily outpaces Azumarill to these charge moves. Honestly, it's the bubble damage that's adding up more. So time to put on the Avalanche pressure. I get a shield there, really good for me. I know I'm going to be able to get to another Avalanche. Possibly could have built up to a Shadow Ball right here since I'm only going to be able to get off one more charge move. They shield that up. Totally fine by me. I'm not able to get to another charge move. But I have a full health Azumarill, right? And a shield. I failed the sack swap right there, which is unfortunate. But this is going to be a play rough, totally fine by me. I'm up in shields. I know the Noctowl is super low, and I'm fully expecting them to try to make a sack swap here at any moment. So I'm holding on to my energy. The Noctowl is going to be coming any moment. Where is it? Where is it? They didn't sack swap at all. So, but I saved my shield for the sky attack in the end, which is good for me. So this solidifies the win in the round here. But we will play out our third game. Good game there. All right, Frostlass, Skuntank, Azumarill. We're keeping it consistent here. Frostlass leads are so much fun. Alolan Muck, this is actually not even that bad. Do I try to catch? Okay, I'm going to throw an Avalanche first. And then there could be a case to be made. You could try to switch on the CMP to catch a Dark Pulse. But he was smart and held onto his energy, but then dumped his energy on this anyways. So he goes for a Sludge Wave. And then out comes the Noctowl. He probably should have saved that energy on the Alolan Muck, but we're looking good here. I'm going for Sludge Bombs this time. I'm going for the heavier hitting move, and I think I'm still going to be able to get to a Crunch. I could have even gotten to another Sludge Bomb because he's fully committed to the farm down here. But I got the shield anyway, so I definitely could have got to another Sludge Bomb. I should have double Sludge Bomb instead. So we know that the Alolan Muck is very low, right, because it ate an Avalanche. So I'm going to bring out Azumarill to soak up all the energy, but I am fully anticipating a double shielded Frostlass sweep here. So I let the Noctowl burn all of its energy. Now I bring out my Frostlass. I should be able to get to 2 Shadow Balls here. I'll probably have to shield up a play rough, but this Azumarill can't really bubble me down the whole way. So this is going to be a play rough. I do have to shield it up. It's going to be hitting for neutral damage. And just going to go for the Shadow Ball here. Now the Azumarill is most likely going to bubble me down. Got the shield. If I can get to this, I'm able to get to a last second Avalanche, which is great. Any chip damage is really going to help here. It still does a decent amount. Oh, and then they actually threw energy here, and I accidentally caught it with my Azumarill. I did not want to do that. There's the Alolan Muck. I thought this was just going to be a Dark Pulse, but I got way too greedy, and they Sludge Waved me, and I lose that. So that's all right. We still won the round. Good game to my opponent. This next round is up against Bella Bowlam, a very talented trainer. I probably just butchered their name, but they're rocking Azumarill, Bronzong, Toxicroak, Noctowl, Munchlax, and Skuntank. So again, anytime I encounter someone running a Toxicroak, I tend to like to lead Skuntank, and then I put 2 things in the back that can beat Toxicroak. So looks like Frostlass and Azumarill are going to be the ones that I'm sticking back there. They are running Skuntank, so we always need to discover whether or not the Skuntank is running Sludge Bomb or Flamethrower. Skuntank in the Bronzong, I'm totally fine with this. However, okay, he switches out into Munchlax immediately. So right off the bat, I am recognizing that he's going to be, or they're going to be using this like Munchlax safe swap strat, which is really annoying to deal with. And people are going to be running it, so you need to be prepared. Like, how are you going to handle that? Typically, nothing really hard checks Munchlax. So before you switch something into that Munchlax, you either need to dump some energy with your lead Pokemon into it, just to make sure you can solidify switch advantage. But I was way too slow on the switch in that first matchup there. Down goes the Munchlax, but it took a decent chunk off my Azumarill for sure. They're going to bring back in their own Azumarill. I'm going to be able to get off a play rough here, which is really good. It also looks like it's a best buddy Azumarill, so it's probably going to win CMP on mine. Mine is a rank 1. They have overfarmed a lot. This play rough is going to be able to take me out. I still have a relatively healthy Skun Tank, but I ate a body slam when I didn't need to because I was so slow to that switch out. I get a shield there. So I've seen Munchlax, I've seen Azumarill. Both of those are really kind of the best answers to Frostlass. It's a Bronzong in the back. In the one shield, I should be able to comfortably win this, but I'm barely behind on energy, so I need to bait here. So I'm going to go for an Avalanche bait to try to regain my energy deficit, and it works perfectly, really good for me. I'm going to be able to get, oh my gosh, he barely gets to the Side Shock before I'm able to get to the Shadow Ball. Unfortunate, that's going to take me out. I bring out my Skun Tank again. I'm over farming. Now I'm going to throw the Crunch, but I think this barely doesn't KO. Barely doesn't KO, and I can't Poison Jab it down, so I lose the first game. I lose the first game in this round. Let's see how I'm going to adapt. So, right off the bat, I'm recognizing that they like to use this Munchlax safe swap strat. People could do this with Licky Licky, they could do this with Lickitung. Pretty much any normal type Pokemon that has access to Lick and Body Slam, you're going to see this pretty frequently. So, I need to be aware of that and figure out how I'm going to play around that. So, let's see how I adapt in the second game. Frostlass, Azu, and Skuntank. Let's see how this goes. Frostlass into Azumarill, not the best, but I'm going to store up some energy and then most likely dip out of here. Storing up a lot of energy, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Okay, I'm going to have to shield this now. I have so much energy stored. Now I'm going to switch in my Skun Tank, and I bait out the Munchlax. I don't really bait it out, it just kind of comes out, but Munchlax with an energy disadvantage. I actually feel more comfortable with this matchup. I do reveal that I have Sludge Bomb right there. So they probably took note of that. Body Slam's coming through. I really want to get off this Sludge Bomb. I'm able to do it. It's going to do a decent amount of damage to Munchlax, even though Munchlax is very bulky. They cannot farm me down, so I'm totally okay with them dumping their energy. Now they farm me down with Lick. Unfortunate. Okay. I'm going to farm them down with my own Azumarill. I know that they still have their Azumarill, which is fairly healthy, has a little bit of residual energy. What are they going to bring out into this? They're going to bring out Bronzong? My Frostlass has so much loaded energy here. I land the Hydro Pump, really good for me. Frostlass is going to have to be my key to victory here. I'm going to let this go through. I survived the Side Shock. I'm going to switch into Frostlass now. I go for the immediate combo play of Avalanche because it's in Avalanche range. Just enough to take it out. Out comes Azumarill. Straight Shadow Ball here. I have so much energy. Still, the Shadow Ball connects. Now I can just go straight Avalanche to pressure shield. So I'm in a very favorable scenario here. Again, I easily outpace this Azumarill. Going to be able to get to this Avalanche. They have to shield this because the Shadow Ball connected first. So, really good for me. They're going to overfarm here, but I'm able to get to this Avalanche. But they need energy to thread my Azumarill, so it makes sense. Now they have to dump their energy, and now I'm solidly going to win this game. Frostlass putting in so much work. I'm able to get to this play rough and take them out, but they were very close to another play rough. Good game there. Going into game 3. Frostlass, Azumarill, Skuntank, man. We're sticking with stuff that works for us. Frostlass into Azumarill again. Not great. Let's see if I play this a little bit more cleanly. I like to store up energy in my Frostlass because I know I win every CMP tie unless I'm facing like a Haunter or something. So I catch a play rough. Now they're going to bring out the Skuntank. At this, I'm just going to go straight Hydro Pump here because I know they're going to take me out. So let's see if this lands. Huge play. The Hydro Pump lands. The Sludge Bomb takes me out. I don't even care. I got the Skuntank low enough. This is totally fine. I actually bring out my Frostlass to Powder Snow this thing down. This Frostlass has so much energy, and it's going to get shields no matter what comes out. Alright. Munchlax, how's it going? Double Avalanche is going to take this thing out. Alright, there's one. 2 Avalanches plus some Powder Snows will take this out. I get a shield. Really good for me. They try to catch on their Azumarill, but I'm smart and I save my energy, which is really good for me. I have 2 shields. Better start using them now. I shield up to play rough. If that was a Hydro Pump, it would have been amazing, but they do successfully bait me. But again, because I'm running Sludge Bomb, this is a consistent win for my Skuntank here. So we're looking good. We are looking good. There's the other play rough. Fine by me. And now the Sludge Bomb is going to be able to take them out. They still have Munchlax. They have to throw energy on my Skuntank. Body Slam won't take me out, but they go for the Bulldoze, which is enough to take me out. And I have an Avalanche stored, and I will win CMP anyway. So good game. Good game. Able to take the 5th round, going into round 6 up against Arrow Bubble 66. He's rocking Azu, Hypno, Skuntank, Frostlass, Alolan Muck, Toxicroak. Are you seeing how similar all these team comps are? There's not a whole lot of spice present in the Sorcerous Cup, but honestly I'm fine with that because these matchups really rely on your knowledge of matchups and energy and shield management. There's not really like a bunch of crazy hard counters, so I've really been loving this Sorcerous Cup. Looks like I'm going with Skuntank, Azumarill, and Frostlass. Again, I only used 4 Pokemon this whole tournament. Skuntank and a Frostlass. This is decent. I'm expecting them to either switch out. I'm always mindful that they might try to switch out here. I am going to shield up the Avalanche. Looking at their team, Skuntank has a lot of favorable matchups against their team. It just needs to look out for the Toxicroak. I get a shield there, and now I switch into my own Frostlass to catch this Avalanche. It's still going to do a decent amount of damage, but it's resisted. Totally fine by me. Out comes their Azumarill. No sense in baiting here. Just going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. They can't really bubble me down because I'm going to get to another Shadow Ball. So they're probably going to throw a Play Rough. Yeah, they do overfarm a little bit, which is a good play on their part. But I'm going to be able to get my Skuntank aligned to the Azumarill. And then I'll be able to get my Azumarill aligned to their Frostlass. So this is totally fine. I am going to reveal my Sludge Bomb here. It connects, takes it out. Oh my gosh, it's a Toxicroak. So I have to bring out my Azumarill into this right now. The Sludge Bomb is the thing that's going to hurt the most. So I let the Sludge Bomb go through. That is not great at all. I'm overfarming here on the Frostlass because I knew that it was out of energy. I get the last shield. Really good for me. At this point, I have to shield this up. It's only an Avalanche. And then I'm overfarming. Gonna throw the Play Rough. I need to land a Play Rough on this Toxicroak. But even that, I don't think is going to be enough to take it out. And they're able to get to a Mud Bomb. Really unfortunate for me. Gonna bring out my Skuntank, which is still kind of healthy. I need to hit the Sludge Bomb. Is this going to be enough to KO Toxicroak? It's resisted, but Toxicroak's very glassy. Barely not enough, and then one Poison Jab takes it. We take the first game. Oh my gosh, that's crazy close. So, I'm realizing that they love their Toxicroak, which worries me a lot. So I'm going to lead Frostlass, keep a Azumarill in there, and I'm going to stick the Skunk in the back. Because Skuntank still has so many positive matchups against their team. Toxicroak in the lead, thank goodness. Out comes Azu. Skuntank is totally able to avoid Toxicroak. I was relatively quick on the switch in. I'm going to go straight for the Sludge Bomb here. See how they want to play this. They do shield it up, which is even better for me, honestly, because they would have survived that Sludge Bomb. But since they shielded it, I will match shields. And I don't want my Skuntank to have too much health left over for the Toxicroak to farm me down. This should just be another Play Rough. So I let it go through. This is great. My Skuntank is getting very low in health. And I have 2 answers to Toxicroak, so switch advantage is not that important to me at this point. Because I have 2 solid responses to Toxicroak. I will take the shield advantage, and I'm already feeling a Frostlass sweep. Are you guys feeling a Frostlass sweep? There's a chill in the air. That was a silly joke. So I'm over farming here. They bring out the Toxicroak. Unfortunate that I threw the Play Rough instead of the Hydro Pump here, especially since shields are down. I'm just staying in here with Azu because I want them to burn their energy so I can safely bring in my Frostlass. They go straight for the Sludge Bomb to take me out. Fine by me. I'm going to Powder Snow down this Toxicroak. What are you going to do to stop a Frostlass with a shield and loaded energy? This puts my opponent in a very tough position. It's an Avalanche range, so I'm just going for Avalanche. What is in the back? It is the Alolan Muck. This is totally fine for me. I'm going to get to 2 Avalanches and take out this Alolan Muck. Again, we get to our charge moves at the same time, and Frostlass wins all of the CMP ties. Plus, I have a shield. So we have this for sure. Acid Spray. Okay, they reveal Acid Spray. So they must be running Acid Spray Dark Pulse, which even further solidifies that my Azumarill has a decent matchup against that. So third game, Frostlass, Azumarill, Skuntank. Let's do this. Same line, my Skunk just needs to avoid Toxicroak and everything is totally fine. Frostlass into Frostlass. Okay, this mirror match, I tend to bait on the first one. Avalanche still does about half health. And my Frostlass is pretty horrible IVs, but it is shiny, so that's why I like to use it. But what happens is I tend to win a lot of these CMP ties. They go for the bait as well. I'm going to go for a second bait, and it looks like somehow they snuck in an extra Powder Snow in there, and they went for the Avalanche. I'm going to go for the Avalanche as well, but I'm worried that I am behind on energy, so I'm going to immediately switch into my Azumarill. Probably going to get hit by a Shadow Ball. Fine by me. I just want Frostlass to dump its energy, and it does. Now they bring in their own Azumarill to mirror. I know the Frostlass is out of energy, so at the end of this matchup, I can bring out Skuntank to farm this Azumarill down, throw a crunch on their own Frostlass, and then my Frostlass, if I'm able to get to an Avalanche, should be able to threaten a potential Toxicroak in the back. I'm assuming that they brought in Toxicroak again. They got way too greedy with energy here. I'm going to be able to land this play rough. And I'm able to take out their Azumarill. They bring out a Alolan Muck to try to farm me down, but I'm going to bring out my Skuntank here. It's not Toxicroak in the back, so Skuntank is going to have to do a lot of work here. Are you going to Acid Spray me? Nope, you're going to go for Dark Pulse. I'm anticipating the Frostlass coming in at any given point, so that's why I'm over farming on energy. I need to have a crunch to threaten that Frostlass. There's the Frostlass. Because I over farmed, I'm able to get to this crunch before they get to an Avalanche. Really good for me. Takes out the Frostlass. I still got 3 Pokemon here. We're looking really nice. This is probably going to be a Dark Pulse. It's going to be enough to take me out. And now, at this point in time, I don't want to get hit by a Dark Pulse on my Frostlass. So I'm going to bring out my Frostlass, and then I'm going to be able to get to this Avalanche because I had 1 Powder Snows left of residual energy, and I'm going to be able to take the 6th round. Good game there, Arrow Bubble. Final round. The finals are up against Roger Chen. Him and I were the only people that were 6-0 at this point. Rocking Azumarill, Alolan Muck, Frostlass, Hypno, Toxicroak, Noctowl. How many times have we seen this team comp today? Very common team, very well balanced. I'm going to go with Frostlass, Skuntank, and Azumarill, and let's see how it plays out. There's no Skuntank on his team, and Alolan Muck does not have consistent wins against Azumarill, so really good lead for me. Skunk needs to avoid this, so I'm going to switch. Oh, I can't switch in my Skuntank onto a Frostlass with an energy advantage, so I'm staying in here. Oh man, I think I make a huge misplay on this first game. Look at this. Are you baiting me? No, my Frostlass just gets nuked. Really bad for me. I'm going to bring out the Skuntank now because it needs to avoid Toxicroak anyways. But I'm already feeling like a 2-shielded Azumarill is going to be my only win condition here. So, over farming here a little bit. I want to have as low of health as possible because I know the Toxicroak is going to come in and try to farm me down. Crunch takes out the Frostlass. I need to switch out of here so I don't get farmed. There's the Toxicroak. I immediately switch out. Now, if I get baited here, this is not great. But I have 2 shields. I do shield out the Sludge Bomb. Really good for me. Over farming here a little bit. Now I'm going to throw the Play Rough. This is probably just barely enough to take out Toxicroak. But they shielded up. They're just trying to burn my shields. And then they probably have like their own Azumarill in the back or something. They go for another Sludge Bomb. Oh, it's the Alolan Muck in the back. I'm going to be able to land this Hydro Pump. They have to land a Sludge Wave to KO me. I'm counting their moves. I switch in my Skuntank. They have to throw a move here. Oh, I think I throw this first game. Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking I can farm it down, and I'm like, this is only a Dark Pulse. And it's a Sludge Wave, and I threw that game. Big mistake on my part. Okay, going with Skuntank, Frostlass, and Azumarill for the second match here. I even had a favorable lead. Do not lead Toxicroak. Do not lead Toxicroak. Ah, they led Toxicroak. But I have two things in the back that can beat it. So I'm using Frostlass as my safe swap. Nothing can beat Frostlass as a safe swap on his team there. With an energy advantage, it's just going to do too much. I absorbed the Mud Bomb. Fine by me. They're still staying in here, which is very strange to me. So I'm over farming a lot. Now they shielded up, and now they're going to bring out their Alolan Muck. I'm going to be able to get to an Avalanche here. I'm already up in shield. Toxicroak has some loaded energy in the back. I get the final shield. The Alolan Muck's going to farm me down. I'm going to bring out my Skuntank to absorb all of this damage. Really good for me. And then double shielded Azumarill is going to have to be my win condition. Skuntank serves no purpose anymore. Especially since there's Toxicroak in his line of 3. So going for Sludge Bomb here. I want some more chip damage. But now they are definitely in crunch range. I'm still not shielding. Sludge Wave is enough to KO me. I'm going to totally farm this down. Totally farm it down. I'm keeping track of their energy for the most part. I do shield up this Sludge Wave. And then they bring out Toxicroak. It should barely be in play rough range. It is. Good for me. I'm up a shield. What are you going to do against Azumarill up a shield? You bring out Frostlass, it's not going to beat Azumarill up a shield. I'm expecting a sack swap at some point, so I do need to be mindful of this. I shield up the Shadow Ball. But I'm just going straight for the Hydro Pump, and this is going to be able to take out the Frostlass, and then I can bubble down the Alolan Muck. And I will take this game. We're going to a Game 3 in the finals, folks. Oh, man. And I'm going with Skuntank, Frostlass, Azumarill. Trusty line here. Don't lead Toxicroak. Please. Okay, they lead Frostlass. This is playable. This is playable. And I'm already assuming that there's a Toxicroak in the back because they've brought it every single game. So I kind of need to get rid of my skunk here and come out of this with a shield advantage. I'm going to no-shield this because I know survive. And then I'm going to switch into my own Azumarill to catch an Avalanche. Really good for me. Wasted energy on their part. But they're going to farm up some more. Are you going to hit me with the Shadow Ball? This is probably a Shadow Ball, but I'm not going to shield it. I'm going to let a double shielded Frostlass be my win condition here. They bring out their own Azumarill. This is great. My Frostlass gets to avoid their Azumarill. And this kind of leads me to believe that it's got to be Toxicroak in the back. I doubt that they have a Alolan Muck because they probably would have brought it out. It's more solid of a response. But they're just going to mirror with their Azumarill. No shields. And it's an Ice Beam. It doesn't even KO me. I switch into my Skuntank here. This is going to be another Ice Beam that's going to KO me. Fine by me. I'm going to go for a crazy farm with Frostlass. It is a Alolan Muck in the back. Okay. Thank goodness I saved both shields for my Frostlass. It's going to be close, but I definitely think we have this game because of our shield advantage here. And again, we kind of get to our charge moves at an equal pace here. I shield up the Dark Pulse, good for me. Over farming here. Now I'm going to throw the Avalanche, but this Snarl damage is definitely adding up. I get the last shield, and now I'm going to be able to Powder Snow down this Muck, which is great. Shields are down. I'm going to nuke everything in the back. What are they going to bring out? They are going to bring in their own Frostlass. I overfarm. They make a really nice sack swap into Azumarill. But I was going to Avalanche it anyways, and then I'm able to Powder Snow it down, and now I get to the Shadow Ball, and I should win CMP even if they had energy, so I'm going to take this. So I was able to sweep this 7-round tournament 7-0. This was my weighted cup for the month. I was able to go, this put me at 31st in the world after winning this, which was really exciting. I hope some of these insights and tips that I gave you will help you in your own tournament. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure if you like this video to like, comment, and subscribe, because man, it took a long time to make. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.